pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
A little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series live here on JTN. We are in the home stretch of the 2023 HOBO Cup Series season. Hello and welcome, folks. My name is JoeTowNetwork. Once again, for the first time in forever, it feels like, joined by the one, the only, Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, you are America's favorite masshole.
Joe, you just told me at the top. You told me right before we started.
Mass.
Right before we started.
I said
folks,
mass.
You went, Ricky,
Mass,
don't swear in the broadcast. Please don't swear in the broadcast. He comes
Massachusetts.
charging out of the gate with that.
Massachusetts.
Nerve.
Massachusetts.
We don't know what it means, Joe. It's not
Massachusetts.
If you just said the swear, then that would also be accepted as the correct assessment. But great to be here. Hopefully, we're gonna have a fun old time. It is not actually Maverick Night in America. Ben Snyder in chat. It is Hobo Night in America. So
yeah,
Hobo Rick Night in America. Here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, gonna be with HOBO Racing Cup Series tonight
and next
from
week.
The big banks of Las Vegas. Going to be an interesting night here, Joe. A little different than a little different than maybe our normal fare here. We usually come to Vegas and everyone's doing the newer tracks, the newer ones, the more recent updates. You know, things more accurate to modern Vegas. We're running on a banked Vegas, but we're running on like OG banked Vegas, like 2006, 2007. This is going to be an older track. Probably got some different properties here. What do you think you're looking for tonight? Do you think there's going to be multi-groove racing? Do you think these guys are going to be more on the bottom, on the top? What do you think's going to happen?
That's a loaded question, Ricky. I think we're going to see some good racing tonight. This track typically, when
That's a cop-out.
When we come here with our friends at HOBO, we kind of see a middle line start to be the dominant line. Guys can't really wrap the bottom per se. I'll be interested to see who's going to be pushing the issue, trying to get around that white line at the bottom of the banking and both sets of corners, and who's going to kind of push that issue early, especially on the tires. But a lot of times we see a middle groove start to develop, and I have a feeling eventually as the runs wear on, that's where we'll see most of these drivers going. If that's the case, it becomes a little single grooved. I think early on you can maybe get two lines running, but as the run wears on, Ricky, it's gonna narrow down into that one middle groove. It'll be a fight for that groove, and we'll see just how much these drivers want it here tonight. This, of course, is your Auto Sim 2 race preview. Remember, Auto Sim 2 is now available on Steam for $9.99. We encourage you to go check it out. Get yourself a copy of the best and premier motorsports text-based simulation game. It's Auto Sim 2. 107 laps here tonight from the 1.5 mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway here out in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. Ricky, what's the worst sin you've ever committed?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
All right.
I'll plead the fifth on that. Do you want me to ask you, Joe?
No, I'm good.
I think that's a yes.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Ricky, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Cars rolling off here in happy hour. Ricky, take us through tonight's starting lineup.
With pleasure, Joe, for tonight's race here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to have 22 cars starting tonight and 23 cars starting tonight, excuse me. Starting on pole at a time of 28.233 seconds is going to be car number 31, piloted this evening by Mr. Jess Stakanis. Following him up in the 28 car, old Mac Daddy Keith McLean will be starting for that second spot at a time of 28.275 seconds. Caleb Lingle, the 113 car, will be starting for the third position. Ken Hansen, the 94, will be starting fourth. Herman Reese in the 73 will be starting for the fifth position. Fugate in the 9 car will be starting from sixth spot. Randy Smith in the 10 car will be starting from seventh position. The 112 car of Eddie Rayleigh will be starting from the 8th position. From 9th spot will be the 78 car, piloted by Mr. Ryan Johnson. Steve Grant in the 11 car will be rounding out the top 10 in the 11 car. In 11th spot will be Steve Rubino in the 07 car. In position number 12 will be the 124 car of Rick Castle. Dan Rubino in the 44 will be starting for the 13th spot. 14th spot goes to the 4 car of Mr. Matt Stern. Duke Sorensen, the 89 car, 59 car, excuse me, starting for the 15th spot. And last car taking time in qualifying today is going to be the 81 car piloted by Troy Donahue this evening. The rest of the field picked on a random draw. 17th position goes to the 00 car of Gary Jackson. Ron Simpson in the 25 car will be starting for the 18th spot. 19th spot goes to naturally the 19 car of Rod Weston. 20th position goes to Wiley King in the 925 car. 21st spot goes to Julian Wilson in the 029 car. 22nd spot goes to Bob Gibson in the 46. And 23rd position goes to car number 22 of Jason San Diego, starting tail end of the field here tonight. And that's going to be the starting lineup for tonight's race at Vegas, Joe. We got a pretty good sized field here for Las Vegas. Make for some fun racing, but I got to ask, a lot of cars here. How much do you think we're going to see pack racing, and how much do you think we're going to see spread out racing from these guys?
We'll probably see them start pretty packed up, Ricky, right? Tire wear and stuff will kind of dictate the field getting spread out single file as the run goes on. Benjamin asks in chat, does Hobo have a playoff system? Yes and no. It's the old chase style format. So the points reset for the final 10 races. Currently, this guy, Keith McLean, in the 28, is your points leader. 72 points ahead of Fugate in the number 9 in those standings. Right now, 78 ahead of Steve Grant. Ken Hansen, 91 points back of the leader. And Herman Reese, 102 back in 5th spot. Hansen and Reese both gained 2 spots in the points last week. So still plenty of time to get things figured out for all these drivers. Caleb Lingle currently sits 126 points back. Again, 4 races to go, including tonight's event. Lingle all the way back in 7th spot. He lost 2 spots last week. I would say McLean maybe your favorite to win the race. 9 wins on the year, Ricky. We talked about it a few weeks ago when we were at Texas. This 28 team, they've been good all year long. They're just going to, again, try to... I feel like if you have 3 or 4 solid races here to end the year, the championship can be yours. So no need to push the issue, but still probably, still hunting those trophies, try to get into the double digits on the win total for the year. But for Keith, I mean, his average finishing position of spot, almost 1.5 positions better than the second highest, or second in points, Fugate in the 9. Looks like second highest is about 0.2 higher of an average finishing position, so still that's a sizable margin with 32 races under your belt.
That's definitely a sizable margin indeed.
People would ask, why are you looking at average finish? It's a more telling stat of the success of a driver and their consistency over the year. Any number that kind of hovers around 7 to 8, that's usually your guys that are winning championships, whether it be out here on the virtual track or on the real ones. Ifugate in the 9. Sundrop Dodge. You a fan of Sundrop, Ricky? You ever have some Sundrop?
I've never had Sundrop in my life.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever seen Sundrop.
Are you a Dale Jr. fan?
What do you say?
Are you a Dale Jr. fan?
Yeah.
Well, how have you not had Sundrop?
I can never find it anywhere. What do you want me to say, Joe?
I don't know. Why don't you say, let's get this show on the road. Cars get lined up on the grid as we wait the command to get engines fired here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Las Vegas Motor Race Car waiting for the start of the racing event.
You really had to make that sentence difficult, didn't you?
What does water taste like?
That's a good question. Chat, what do you think water tastes like?
Best answer wins. What do you win? You win our admiration for 2 seconds.
Drivers, start your engines!
It's a call to start engines. We're rolling off pit road here, Joe.
It'll be the king of rock and roll. The Elvis Presley machine of Jeff Stikenis rolling off on row 1 next to the points leader, Keith McLean. Row 2 is Caleb Lingle. And the 94, Ken Hansen. Row 3, Herman Reese. And the 9 to Jeff Fugate. Randy Smith in the 10 for Team Speedland. And Eddie Rayleigh in the 112. Rounding out your top 10, Ryan Johnson and Steve Grant. Get your picks in for who you think's gonna win here tonight. Hello to all. Benjamin, Barbara, Kevin, Ann, and Greg. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday night. And we are so glad you're joining us here tonight on JTN HOBO Racing Cup Series action from Las Vegas. Field of 23 makes their way through turns 3 and 4 behind our Dodge Charger safety car, awaiting that magical green flag to be dropped as the fans are going to be on their feet. Track is in pristine condition. It won't stay that way for all 107 laps, but we're going to hope it gets pretty darn close. Field makes their way into the tri-oval, green flag, and we're racing here from Sin City. Now the back
Lingle already slips up a little bit coming off turn 2 here, Joe. The 28 Keith McLean getting underneath him.
McLean started on that outside of this top row, lost the second spot in the opening set of corners to Lingle, now looking for it on the bottom. Got loose there, though, through the center of the corner. Lingle takes advantage. He'll hold on to the second spot.
Lingle keeping in tow with the 31. Had that little slip up last time, but doesn't seem like it's really deterred him that much. Ran a faster lap last time by than Stikenis for lap number 1, and that was with that little slip up. So see how Caleb Lingle holds out here as Keith McLean is riding behind him in third spot. 113 actually starting to look to the inside of the 31. You see he's got the nose there. 31's going to block him a little bit, Joe.
Lead so important here at Las Vegas, especially early on. You want to, the clean air helps you maybe conserve those tires a little bit. Stikenis in the 31 trying to do that. Lingle, who's 7th in the points, trying to find a way around Stikenis. A win would help his chances of trying to mount a late season comeback, late chase comeback on the driver that's right behind him, Keith McLean in the 28.
You see right now, this top 3 is basically separated from the rest of the field. Herman Reese is running right behind him, probably about, I don't know, half a second back, but you can see there's a very sizable gap between the 20 and the 73 already. As the 113's all over the back bumper of the 31 here. Almost like he's bump drafting with him, Joe.
Caution out for the first time here tonight. Got one around. It's Steve Rubino in the 07. Heavy
Stop right at the
damage.
start-finish line.
Heavy damage on the rear end of the 07 car. And he will retire. Oh, no.
Looks like you got a little assistance here, Joe.
Oh, no.
A little bit of family drama here.
Little brotherly
Dan Rubino
shove.
gets into Steve Rubino.
Brotherly dump?
I wouldn't phrase it like that, but yes.
Brotherly shove?
Yeah, I'd say brotherly shove.
Brotherly bump?
Now, you know what that is. That's I didn't even touch him. I didn't even touch him. Mom, I didn't touch him.
We're gonna need a confirmation.
This could lead to a, I don't know, Joe. Do you think this is like a Bodine level catastrophe, or?
I don't know. We're gonna need confirmation. We know we got the Rubinos in chat. If this is a common occurrence.
Well, I answered chat saying, "Oh no," so I don't think. Everyone actually going to be coming down pit road here too, Joe. Only 6 laps into this race, which is interesting. See if anyone tries to play a little bit of a sneaky game, but it looks like everyone's coming down. Have you heard any rumblings down on pit road, down the garage? As actually the 19 in the somebody else staying out here.
Tire's important enough to come down here only 5 laps in. They're
10 of Randy Smith and the 19 Rod Weston, which they might just be out there for the lap lead. But Joe, did you hear any rumblings in the garage before the race about tire wear? Did these guys think that they were going to have any issues with that right front, considering how much speed they're carrying through those turns?
No, I mean we were told that tires would be important as the night went on, and I think that's already something. You're seeing some 2-tire calls here.
Ken Hansen with a big leapfrog in these guys. Fugate gained a ton of spots on that 2-tire call as well. I don't think 2 tires is a bad play right now, to be totally honest. Only 6 laps into this. Better to do it now and then realize that doesn't work than to try it later and then have it not work. But let's see what the 19 and the 10 end up doing here. But for the moment, if they come down, it looks like Ken Hansen will be our proverbial leader. If they don't come down, Randy Smith will lead them back. But I mean, either way, I don't think Randy Smith would be at too much of a disadvantage here with only 6 laps on those tires. I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Never mind. 10's coming down.
He's pitting, so does it matter? Heyo.
Not necessarily doesn't matter, but do you think that staying out on no tires would be a bad play at this point? Only 6 laps on those tires. Some of the guys behind you took 2.
I wouldn't want it to be me. I'm good.
What, you just a 4 and a 4 and 4 on the floor guy?
Yeah. Sometimes the easiest strategy is the obvious one.
That is true. Sometimes the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
Yep.
Which doesn't really explain anything there, but
we're full of great
lines, I guess.
We're full of great lines here tonight, aren't we?
The hypotenuse is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, I've heard that one before too. Wow.
Barbara asking in chat, yes, Steve unfortunately looks like he had to retire as a result of that incident. 07 Carl finished the race 23rd spot out on lap 5 or 6. And it looks like Rod Weston coming down, Joe. So I think Rod was just looking for some points there.
Yeah, get your points, get your lap led, put yourself in that column for the night, you know?
I have to keep an eye out on this whole lineup here, though, as we're getting the 1-2 go coming back for the green flag. Ken Hansen on 2 tires, Keith McLean on 2 tires, Fugate on 2 tires, and then the 31 Justin Kennis behind him on 4 tires. That's probably gonna give us our best bet, our best view of what 2 versus 4 tires is gonna be. Caleb Blank, I think, on 4 tires as well. I would assume everyone behind them is on 4 tires, but I'm not entirely sure because I did see a little bit of a mix-up on pit row, some of these positions. So I don't know if that's relative to pit road or some of these guys actually did try to take 2 to jump a few spots. But this top 3 will be the big litmus test, the big canary in the coal mine on if you can do a 2-tire run here. It'd be useful for restarts later. You never know, Joe.
Canary in the coal mine? Oof, I don't know. Ken Hansen, though, he's going to hope the 2 tires work here. At least he's grabbed some track position for the time being. Keith McLean there in 2nd. Fugate 3rd. Stakanis and Langley, your top 5. Stakanis was the leader coming down pit lane. Was your pole sitter. We think he's the fastest car in town. We'll see if he can get back to the front in short order. Dodge Charger pace car takes the left turn down the pit lane. Gives way to Hansen in the 94. As we get ready to go back racing here from Las Vegas. Green flag, and we're back underway. McLean already able to get to the lead, got to the inside of Hansen. Hansen with a terrible restart here for turns 1 and 2. Fugate got loose trying to get to the inside of the 94. That will give the 31 a chance to make a move down the back straightaway.
Oh, a little bit of a sketchy spot, though. You saw them both kind of like juke a little bit. So 9 was trying to keep it off the wall. 31 didn't want to get into him. Last thing you want to do is run someone over when you know you have a faster car. 9 actually blinking out a little bit here. Oh, we got a big accident in the back, Joe.
A melee has begun here. Parking lot. Speeds. Steve Grant is around. 2nd caution of the night. I believe this one starts with between Rayleigh and Grant. No, not even. Two separate spins.
Yeah, the 112 actually... Rayleigh, the 112 over-rotates in front of him. The 11 gets a shot from the 59 of Sorensen, and that's what caused that 2nd spin. But everyone comes sliding into this. A lot of not terrible contacts, Joe. Though the 11th Joe one I saw that took a nose to the outside wall in addition to the 112. Eddie Rayleigh, very unfortunate, definitely got a good bit of damage. I think Steve Grant did as well. But a lot of these guys got a lot of side slaps on that wall if they did make contact with it, but a lot of this looks pretty fixable.
Mm-hmm. Go on board with Bino here through this wreck. But 2nd caution of the night out here early in this one. It's Keith McLean out in front of the field. Followed by Ken Hansen, Jeff Fugate, Justin Kennis, and Caleb Blankel. So top 5 still stays the same, albeit 28 and 94 have swapped spots. Folks, we got great racing action coming up for you here on JTN, presented by our friends at Scheme Haven. Thursday night, it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series live from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then HOBO Racing Cup Series action heads to the Homestead Miami Speedway 1 week from tonight at 8:50. And TMP late model action kicks off their year from the Milwaukee Mile. Coverage kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time next Wednesday, October 25th. Those races and much, much more, of course, live right here only on JTN.
Well, Joe, I don't know. What do you think after that first little 2-lap dash there?
What do you mean?
We don't really got a lot of time to evaluate how these guys were doing on tires, but it did seem like that 9 of Gate was about to fall to the 31 of Stakenis, kind of got saved by the caution. Not to say that in a bad way, just mean that he got a little bit of a saving grace with the caution falling the way it was, because the 31 was rearing down on him quite a bit. I think the 4 tires is definitely stronger than the 2, but I think if you can play your cards right here and get someone stuck a little further back in the field, it might be a little bit more viable.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the big thing too is that I guess some things don't change. Is that Vegas always is pretty brutal on cold tires. This version of Vegas, again, pretty brutal on cold tires, and I think that's what some of these guys are running into. Open setup here too, so these guys can kind of run whatever they want in terms of looseness or tightness. So you got to think these guys are running out there pretty loose as we get that 1 to go. That some of these guys definitely have cars that might not be the most maneuverable until those tires get some temperature in them.
I mean, what do you do? You just you play it more conservatively on the restart then, Ricky? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Well, I mean, if you're having handling issues in the back here, you may just take some tire pressure out of that right rear, get something and kind of grab it back there. But I just mean in terms of why we'd be seeing guys kind of going around like that. Like, I don't think that's really anything with the track right now. I think it's just that some of these guys are running very loose setups, and because this track kind of requires it, and what this track is responsible for is causing very cold tires. So loose setup plus cold tires equals disaster. But at the same time, very loose setup at Las Vegas equals very fast. So it's a balancing act. Part of the fun. Are you ready to go back racing here, Joe, on lap 15?
Oh, yeah, you know I'm ready to go back racing. Field going to make their way off of turn number 4. Keith McLean, the points leader, with control for that restart. Coming to lap 15 of 107 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. McLean with control, and back away we go. Green flag once again here from Sin City.
Keith McLean gets a good launch here off of turn 2. Got about a 4-car length gap on the 94 Ken Hansen, about another 4-car gap back to Fugate, who's got the 31 Jeff Stakenis rearing back down on him. This will also be an interesting little test here, Joe, to see what happens when you put a heat cycle on these tires.
Oh, Dan Rubino going around to the back of the pack.
Equalize the 2 versus 4 tires a little bit.
Oh, no.
Jeff Stakenis still staying in that 4th spot with Caleb Lingo close in tow.
Oh, no. Oh, big crash. Ricky, I did not miss that part about working with you.
Oh, we have someone spin the back here. Yeah, Dan Rubino.
Yeah, just got absolutely clobbered, too, unfortunately. Wow. And you just, yeah.
Yeah, say something, Joe.
Oh,
goodness. Yeah, now I'm seeing
what? Wait a minute. Folks at home, was I talking and was I saying there's a big crash?
You didn't say anything, Joe. I was talking, then you went, "Oh, big crash," and then I stopped talking because I didn't know what you were talking about.
No.
I thought you meant like you crashed, like your game crashed.
Okay. Wow. We're like an old married couple up here.
Yeah, I know, right? I want a divorce.
Oh.
Very unfortunate though for these two, Dan Rubino, and then also especially Eddie Rayleigh here, who had to park it from the damage on the car on that incident. But you know, Joe, that means I'm back in top form, missing things just like always. Some things never change here on JTN.
And Bino now going to be out of this race, so both Rubinos out. Rayleigh also out. Raydog, we sounded like this was going to be his last start of the year. Has a surgery coming up, so I just want to send him well wishes. too, so.
I'm denying all
Thank you, Greg.
accusations that I kept
Greg
yapping
has my
while
back.
you were describing
Greg
the
has my
crash, Joe.
back. I appreciate you, Greg.
I deny this
Top
reality
fan.
and replace it with my own.
Top fan right there. Greg, even if he is a Georgia fan. Top fan right there.
Notice how I never say this about you, Joe.
It's almost like I don't do it.
Yeah, I know, right? What's wrong with you? Why won't you screw up and let me ridicule you?
Ricky, when I screw up, you are more than free to ridicule me.
Nah, it's alright. Hearsay is not a legal defense, Greg. I'm just saying hearsay is not a legal defense. Show me the footage. Show me the footage. No,
Yeah,
I'm sure it did happen.
show
I'm
you
sure
the
there's gonna be a
footage.
clip later of it happening.
Nah, probably not. I won't go that far. Alright, so let's play our favorite game to play with Ricky under cautions here. Should Joe buy this car? Ricky, a 2008 Dodge Dakota.
Are you insane?
A little bit.
How many miles?
123,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just sitting in like a garage for 40 years?
I don't know. Doesn't look like it has a lot of rust either.
I mean,
And it's a 4x4.
how much?
6,400. We're playing Ricky's favorite game here, folks. Should Joe buy that car? You can chime in and chat as well. Greg says he's still predicting the Michigan-Georgia National Championship game. And Greg, I like it. My team better win. All right.
I mean, that's a tough one, Joe, because I just don't know.
Ricky, I'm not gonna buy it. Okay, we're not in a position to buy a car right now. I like to put you in precarious positions, you know?
Yeah, I'm just I was just kind of confused. No. I'm not. I mean, it has 23,000 miles. I just mean it's a 2008 Dodge Dakota. Like, that's like buying it. That's like buying an IKEA shelf and just kind of waiting for it to fall apart.
What about a 1998 Dodge Dakota RT?
Yes, but it's also gonna rust.
Well, it hasn't yet.
Okay, yeah, then go with that.
Oh, wait. Never mind. Retract that statement. Magoo says 5K. I like the way Magoo's thinking. Get ready to go back green. Keith playing with control here for the restart. Ken Hansen. Bob Gibson getting a lap back there in the 46. Bugate, Stickenis, Lingle, your top 5. 2-tire call has worked so far, Ricky. We've had short runs. It's kind of a perfect storm for these guys that did the strategy call. Yeah. Howdy.
Howdy.
Yes, Greg, we can agree to disagree. But just know I hope I'm right and you're wrong. Alright, Keith McLean with control here for the restarts. Coming to lap 20:01:07. And back away we go. Green flag once again here from Vegas. Once again, McLean able to get out to a big lead. Hansen able to get away from Bugate. And Stickenis and Lingle in close tow.
The client's still leading here as Ken Hansen in the second spot. Fugate in the third spot. 31. Oh, Jeff Sekenis, big loose off of turn 2. That's going to let the 113 Lingo kind of look to the inside. Lingo going to look. Gets that position, Joe, side by side with the 31 Sekenis.
Caleb Lingle takes that 4th spot away, moves ahead of Stekenis. Ryan Johnson and Herman Reese now side by side. Julian Wilson there in the 029 also getting involved in this one. Reese goes on by. Wilson going to go on by. Here comes Wiley King in the 925. King gets back in line. Johnson holds on to the 8th position. Heath McLean, though, still out in front of the field here.
The 113 Lingo getting to the inside of Fugate. Going to make that pass pretty easily there. Caleb Lingo is up to that 3rd spot. Let's see if he can track down Ken Hansen and Keith McLean now.
Lingle just working his way up methodically here. Slowly. He's got a method to the madness, Ricky. Why he's moving forward methodically. I'd be interested to see, as the run goes on, what the 73 and 029 do. These are two drivers, Herman Reese and Julian Wilson, that is, that are both known for their ability to save the tires and preserve a car for a long run. They've fallen back, kind of just barely out of reach of the top 5. Sekenis right now in 5th in the 31. You see he's right behind his teammate Fugate in the 9. Fallen just out of reach of that top 5, or just within reach, depending on who you ask, as Lingle looks for 2nd here through turns 3 and 4. And in doing that, Ricky, backing the pace down, they're able to save the tires a little bit. How do you know when enough is enough and it's not too much?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Joe?
How do you know when enough is enough and not too much?
When
it comes to tire saving.
You know, because you know that enough was truly enough, even though it wasn't that much.
Okay. I mean, is your tire savings rate of speed, is that something you have to learn in the early stage of the race to apply in the late, or is that something you can already kind of know or have a good sense of coming into the race because of experience?
I'm going to say yes. I'm not really sure, to be honest, Joe.
Okay.
That's my answer for you and for the good people at home. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. What do I look like, a race car driver?
Yeah, at one point.
You guys having a fun old time out here on JTN as the 28 car Keith McLean still leading on those older tires, trying to see if Caleb Lingle could track him down. Right now, McLean's been doing a pretty good job of holding ground on him, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Lingle's been faster, but he's been faster by like about 1/10 of a second last time by. So he's slow. He's got it down to a second, about 9/10 right now, but he hasn't been chasing down the 28 Keith McLean like he thought he was gonna.
You're probably about 10 to 12 laps away from a pit stop as well, if you're these leaders. So,
and that's good for Keith, because if he
right.
can hang out front until pit stops, and he's back in the same cycle with these guys.
Because nobody's gonna take 2 tires on a green flag cycle, right?
No, I don't think so.
He's like, yeah, no. I'm just sitting here. Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Having a fun old time here tonight on JTN, Joe. Lingo's got that gap down to 0.67 seconds, so he's slowly leaning into it. Interestingly enough, though, Justin Kennis, that 31 car, who was right in touch with Lingo, actually ahead of Lingo for quite a while there, still stuck behind the 9 of Fugate here, though. It's interesting because that car took 4 tires, but he can't seem to get past these guys that took 2.
And not looking like the king of rock and roll tonight is Jeff Stakanis. As you
Well,
said,
there's plenty of time.
not for Elvis.
Joe.
What? Too soon?
Joe, we're going to get in trouble for that.
Are
Too
we?
soon.
What's your favorite Elvis food?
I was just talking with someone about this earlier. I forgot the one was real. It was the one that was like a loaf of bread hollowed out, filled with peanut butter, jelly, and bacon.
Yeah. He liked peanut butter.
He did like peanut butter. Who doesn't like peanut butter?
That's fair. Bristol likes peanut butter.
No, most dogs do. My dog doesn't, but most dogs do.
See, Julian Wilson makes a pass there on Stakanis for 5th, so the 029 now starting to scratch and claw his way forward. Magoo's answer to our question about when do you know enough tire save is enough is, or is too much, his answer was when you have leftovers. And
That is true.
And that's kind
That's
of
a good
how
answer.
I cook, you know? Like, when I have leftovers, I know I made too much food.
I don't
Ordered
think
too
that's
much
an
food.
equal equivalence, though, Joe, because it's good to have leftovers, because then you can make them later.
Greg saying Bristol is a good boy in chat. Remember, folks, for every time, every person, and well, no, not every person, for every time it's someone says, and you can say it as many times as you want in chat. For every time someone says Bristol is a good boy, and they put that in chat, Bristol gets a pat on the head.
Do that.
as-
Make sure we gotta pat him on the head.
Are you gonna pat your dog on the head?
I'll pat my dog on the head.
Okay. We were supposed to take a video of me giving Bristol all his pats on the head from Thursday night. So we need to get that done here in the JTN studios.
13, Caleb Lingle is right on the back bumper of the 28 of Keith McLean here. As we're talking about this, we're going to be coming up on pit stop soon, but we'll see if Lingle can get past Keith McLean before that.
And if you're Keith, do you want to try to short pit the 113 before he gets by you, or pit, as
That
Lingo's
doesn't
going
matter
to the
now. It's go
inside?
to the inside, Joe.
Okay, well now do you pit almost immediately?
I mean, he's still in touch with him. I think he's still got the speed. As you see, he's going back to the inside of the 113. He's got that nose back to the inside, Joe. 28 to keep McLean got the run. Looks like he's going to stay behind the 113 here.
Your tires just wasn't enough anymore. So Caleb Lingle back to the point as we await the first round of green flag pit stops here from Las Vegas. JTN's coverage of the HOBO Racing Cup Series. Joe Twansky joined by Ricky Klett up here in the booth, folks, again. Can't thank you enough for tuning in here to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Got 18 people currently tuned in. Only 11 likes on the video. What's up with that? Got to get those numbers more even. Can't thank you enough to all those of you that hit the like button, for all of you that are subscribed. It means the world to us. It means we're doing a good thing. We're doing a good job out here. As you see, these guys that stayed out and had 2 tires, they have fallen back, and Stakenis has kind of fallen back with them. Wilson up into 3rd. Ryan Johnson now 4th. Fugate up into 5th. Boy, howdy. We got some shuffling inside the top 5, Ricky.
Definitely some shuffling in the top 5, indeed.
Right before pit stops, too. Isn't it nice them to do that for us?
So nice to make sure everything's all over the place and everyone's confused and trying to get their bearings while they're also trying to figure out their pit cycles. Yeah, we were talking about the 113 pulling away from Keith McLean. Keith McLean ran a faster lap last time by than 113. Keith is not letting Caleb Lingle get away from him, even though Lingle's got more tire.
Here comes McLean down pit lane, first of the leaders.
Keith McLean, the first guy down on pit road. That probably means he's going to jump Lingle here when he gets back off by doing this short pitting. '94 Ken Hansen coming down this time. Ten down.
Lingle on pit lane really quick. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Joe.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Let's see how those SpaghettiOs.
That 113 might have been too quick.
Oh, no.
Even Bristol's fans in the background, they're concerned. Do you hear them?
No, but I'll pretend I do. 28, Keith McLean got to the inside of the 19 of Rod Weston. These guys, look at everyone. Keith is just bobbing and weaving his way through traffic right now with those fresh rubber. To the inside of the 46 of Bob Gibson.
You got to,
Gibson
right?
grabs the wall just a little bit.
I mean, if you're Keith, you have to try to make these moves and finagle your way around lap traffic. You're trying to make up as much time as you can. You had clean air when you pit, now you're in the dirty air. You're in the traffic. You're in the soup, as we call it. Makes things hard. KJ and the 029 getting up to speed. Lingle also going to stay ahead of the 28.
Lingle's still out here, Joe, so I don't think he's had any
no penalty
issues yet with
no
pit
penalty.
speed.
That's good. We hate when penalties affect races. Right?
All right. Leader is down right now. Rod Weston, who was running out longer than that. So tail the 2 pit cycles. Weston, one of the longest guys out there. To fall back into the 113's hands of Lingle. Now Keith McLean going to be behind the 113 with a lap or 2 older tires too. We'll see if Caleb Lingle can take advantage of this and spread out that gap a little more.
Stretch your legs if you're Caleb Lingle. You are running away with this race right now in the 113. Caleb Lingle out in front, 52 laps. Gonna be in the books this time around. Just over 50 left here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. JT's coverage of the HOBO Racing Cup Series. Someone mentioned JTN has an intern. Whose dog is that?
Oh, that's my dog.
No, we made a TikTok last year.
Oh, okay.
We had an intern last year. That's actually Bristol's brother, his little brother. It's Pumbaa. Plenty of Bristol is a good boy. Bristol's going to be getting a lot of head pats after this broadcast. You'll love to see it.
Keith McLean's actually shrunk that gap down, Joe, as these guys have had to kind of navigate some of this lap traffic with Steve Grant. And that's also let the 029 car, Julian Wilson, get into this cycle here. The 029 right in the back bumper of the 28. And he's been in this front shuffle with these guys, but the closest he's been to the top 2 so far in this event. 55 laps, 107, just a little over halfway. Tonight's race?
Yep.
I think that was close.
You are correct. Just over halfway. Ricky, you're good at math.
I'm a math magician.
Math magician. Honestly, that's what they should call engineers.
They should. That would be way better, honestly.
I think I'm gonna use that. I'm a math magician. You're a what? No, I'm an engineer. So you got Caleb out in front. You got Keith there in second. You got Julian in third. Fourth, I believe, is Ryan Johnson. Rounding out your top 5, Herman Reese in the 73. Fugate back there in 6th. 7th, and it's kind of been a surprise that he's fallen back this far. Jeff Stekenis in the 31. He was pretty adamant that he was going to be talking with us after this race. If the race ended right now, he would not be. Come on, Jeff. Get on the loud pedal. Should we just start publicly calling out drivers? Do you think that would be a healthy way to maintain relationships with the garage area?
I don't think so, but I like where your brain's at, Joe.
Okay. Nelson in chat asks, question for you guys in the booth. With Larson advancing, what other 3 drivers do you think will make the Final 4? Ricky, I'll go to you.
It's a very controversial take, but I think Kyle Larson is going to make the Final Four.
Okay. Who else?
You, me, and then a third lucky person.
All right, Alice. I'm gonna answer your question genuinely. I apologize for Ricky's sass. Honestly, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. I feel like these 3 races for Bell are pretty good ones. Hamlin's just kind of been on it here in the playoffs, and I don't know that third spot that's remaining. I feel like a guy like Tyler Reddick could win this week at Homestead. Chris Buescher was sneaky good at Homestead. Ryan Blaney. It's going to be hard for that third spot, but I feel like we're going to see at least 2 Toyotas in the Final Four, them being Hamlin and Bell, unless something catastrophic happens. I believe they're in the Final Four right now along with Truex. Truex hanging on by 2 points. That 19 team, Ricky, I don't know how much you've been able to pay attention here this playoffs, but they have not been good. Martin Truex Jr.'s team, that is, in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. No, I'm sure they're gonna fall into it somehow, but they have not been that good.
Greg says Willie B. I completely forgot about William Byron.
Yeah, Byron's a pretty good.
Yeah, that's
bet.
actually a pretty safe bet. So those are my 3: William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. There it is.
I mean, what's the most boring answer I could give? That's the one I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, William Byron.
I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing.
Listen, we dunked all over Hendrick and Jeff Gordon's comments about drivers being controversial this week on the Fake Racers podcast. You can go check that out on JTN2. It's now available. We have face cams, so if you haven't seen what I look like, you can see what I look like over there. You can also probably have seen it in the shorts feed here. Ricky's not on that show, but Davey Hazard, Matthew Steelman both are. You can also listen to the audio version of the Fake Racers podcast by searching Fake Racers podcast on your favorite podcast platforms.
Yeah, they won't let me in there. They lock the door and I start knocking on it.
No, he doesn't ask to be on there. Ricky, do you want to be on the Fake Racers podcast as Julian Wilson takes second?
I don't have a webcam.
Well, get a webcam. Your phone.
Yeah, I've literally never asked because every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't have a webcam. There's no reason.
I just want to lock you, Weaver, and Dewey in a room and see what happens. And tell you guys to record an episode of the podcast.
I mean, you got close. Dewey and I went to a race.
There we go. And you didn't film any content for us.
Yeah, no, not at all. We're at the same race. But I mean, yeah, we could do that. I think I'm pretty good. Maybe one day if I get a webcam, but right now I have to prioritize other things like food and electricity. One of which I am not capable of paying right now, so.
Yeah, the Jeff Gordon comment was a little weird. The whole, we don't want our drivers to have personalities. We want them to just be race car drivers, and people like them for that. Julian Wilson, I mean, he's doing a good job of making me like him because he's a good race car driver. He is applying some pressure to the back bumper of Caleb Lingle here. Coming to lap 70. Closing in again on pit stops.
Julian Wilson, yeah, been doing a fantastic job. That 029 car's just been hooked up all day.
Wilson looking low here. He's just making Lingle start to think about it, covering the bottom here through the corners. If you press long enough, eventually that guy will make a mistake, right? Is that kind of that's the thinking?
Yeah, I think that would be the thing.
Wilson to the inside, side by side here, heading down into turn 1. Lingle still prevailing, momentum carrying the 113 on that outside line. He's going to drift up the track, might have to breathe the throttle a little bit. That might allow this 029 to have another run down here into turn 3, Ricky.
He'd make another run at it right now. Julian Wilson trying to get to the inside of the 113. Here he is side by side here, coming out of turn 4. Coming to the start-finish line. We'll see if Julian Wilson can get the lap led. Lingle keeps it for this one, but I don't think that's going to last for long, Joe.
Wilson has the preferred line here into turns 1 and 2. Takes the lead with authority. Dives it down into the corner. Julian Wilson to the point for the first time here tonight at Las Vegas. Caleb Lingle, though, going to try to dive back to the inside here into turn 3. Wilson shuts the door. You're Keith McLean now, and you just saw Wilson get to the lead, Ricky. And you know you're starting to lose touch with Lingle here in the late stages of the run. What, are you thinking about making an aggressive swing, or are you going to take your good point stay?
I'm sure you should take an aggressive swing. You want those wins.
So McLean down pit road. Randy Smith also on pit lane. Keith might have missed the commitment cone. He got to the right of it. It's going to be tough. Anson on pit lane. Ryan Johnson, Fugate, Herman Reese. So some of the players in the top 5, hovering around that top 5. All down on pit lane a lap or 2 earlier than our race leaders here. We're going to see Wilson coming down pit lane.
That was a close one for Wilson, but I think he made it.
I think he did too. Caleb Lingle also having a similar adventure coming to pit road there as Jason San Diego is coming on. Here comes Wilson off of pit road, but Lingle going to be able to get out in front of him. So a great stop and good positioning there on pit lane for the 113. Lingle gets out in front and hops the 029. We'll watch Keith McLean, though. He's heading down into turns 1 and 2, Ricky.
McLean coming with a huge head of steam on these guys. So 22 getting up to speed here. 029 getting up to speed. 113. Caleb Lingle is actually going to be back ahead of Julian Wilson when this all shuffles out.
Yeah, and Keith McLean lost a lot of time in the 28. I think the play to undercut was a good try, but obviously something has gone awry because this is the second time that even though he's done the undercut, Keith McLean has lost.
Oh, Caleb Lingle almost spins it off of turn 2, Joe. How did he save that? That car was sideways. How did he hang on to that?
Here's the replay.
Looks like he was checking up for the 59. Duke Sorensen caught Sorensen at a bad time there, lap car, and the car just got sideways. Where have we seen this before, Joe? I think we saw this on Sunday.
Look at that save. Wow.
We'll see what happens here. Caleb Lingle's going to have to make back up all this ground. Not a lot of time to do it. Just a little over, give or take, like 26, 27 laps to go. This is going to be the last run to the race, right, Joe?
It will be.
That 113 had to have, like, lit up his tires a little bit, too, on that.
Yeah, definitely gonna... he's giving up some life on the good years. Now, good thing is that 113 has been quick on the long runs. Yeah, without the wall help, indeed.
Julian Wilson still leading.
Kind of sorting his way through lap traffic right now. Caleb Lingle there in second. Heath McLean still third. Herman Reese in fourth. Fugate in fifth. Ryan Johnson lost some spots since we last checked in on that battle inside the top 5. Right now, Julian Wilson is trying to seal the deal, a victory here in that Stella Artois Chevrolet. Can you say it any fancier than me, Ricky?
I don't think I could.
Okay. Wanted to make sure we get the names on the cars, you know, the respect they deserve. But,
Julian Wilson still leading here with the 113. Caleb Lingle following him in second spot. Lingle's still about 0.7 of a second back. We'll see if that changes coming across the line this time. Wilson hit the line 704, 28.704, 28.596 for Caleb Lingle.
Lingle's got some speed
Joe, I
in
think
that
he's
car.
driving mad. What do you think?
A little bit. I mean, it's, whew. He's cutting into this lead that, Wilson had. Now, do we know if what this 029 is doing pace-wise, if he's trying to pace himself? We don't know that. Maybe he'll press the issue a little bit this time by. You can maybe read those times off for the fans at home. Or not. That's okay too.
Yes.
Read
I'm so invested in this fight.
Yes.
Let's see if what Lingle does this time by, because he still looks like he's gapped a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he's gotten closer. 28.713 and 28.799. I was wrong. They basically ran even last time by. Oh, don't ask for my opinion if I start eyeballing stuff, Joe. It generally isn't great.
I'm not throwing any fault on you, Ricky. Not looking to throw any blame around. I'm just saying you suck and you're wrong.
No.
Hee hee.
Julian Wilson has been able to kind of spread that gap out just a little bit on Lingle, back up to a second here.
Closing in on the end of this one from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Again, folks, be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on J10. You don't want them to miss a second of the action. You don't want to miss a second of the action. Make sure you have the bell icon clicked so that way you're notified anytime new content is uploaded or we go live here on JTN. Julian Wilson out in front in the 029 car. Caleb Lingle sits in second. Points leader Keith McLean in third. They're all separated with a healthy amount of room. Wilson trying to put Ken Hansen a lap down here in the 94. Ken, though, not going away quietly. Hansen came into tonight fourth in the points, only 91 points back of points leader Keith McLean. Going to lose some of those points here tonight. Wilson going to make the pass here into turns 3 and 4 and put that 94 car a lap down. Can't complete it just yet. Hansen fighting back on the outside. They'll be side by side here coming to the line. This is your Caleb Lingle back there, and you see these two racing in front of you. You love what you're seeing. Wilson now completes the pass.
Wilson clears him. Caleb Lingle still trying to track him down. Started to close the gap again a little bit, back down to 9/10 of a second. We'll see if Lingle can keep that car rolling here as he comes up on the 94. Ken Hansen going to catch him in a little bit of a rough spot here coming on the exit of turn 4 as Julian Wilson comes across the line. Joe, that's going to be a 10 lap to go warning.
It is 10 laps to go here from Las Vegas. Julian Wilson still out in front. Ricky was setting me up for our TWB 10 to go. It's also our Death Craver 10 to go. Woohoo! Woo! There's no ad read.
Julian Wilson comes across the line. Last time by, Caleb Lingle shaved an entire 10th down on the 029's lead. Has it down to 7/10 of a second. You can see, Joe, he's been running some faster laps. We'll see if he can consistently do that. If he can keep this up, he might be able to track down this 029, maybe catch his wind a little bit. That might help him reel in Wilson, but we'll see. He's only got so much time left as he comes across the line for 8 laps to go. Down to 0.66 seconds.
Whoa. So you're saying it's getting smaller?
Yeah, that gap's getting smaller.
Wow. Lingle
0.59 seconds.
is
Still
closing.
Caleb Lingle running faster laps consistently than Julian Wilson right now.
Playing the Jaws
Maybe
music yet?
Wilson burned up his stuff a little bit, trying to get around those lap cars because But does Lingle have enough time to track him down? At the rate that he's catching him, it's going to be close.
Well, what's the saying? Catching him's one thing, passing him's another. 6 laps to go at the line.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you use that old, you know, I don't know, chrome horn.
There's no chrome on these cars. I'll use that Exalta horn. Or 3M vinyl wrap horn. Carbon fiber horn. See,
Carbon fiber.
Carbon.
Five laps to go here. Julian Wilson's got it down to half a second. 0.50 on the dot, Joe.
You playing Jaws music is starting to intensify and intensify.
Well, Caleb Lingo's been running faster laps, but it's tough because right now it seems like he's just barely
fast
getting there,
enough.
barely carving it down. He's gonna have to start making up more ground than he is. 0.46 seconds behind our leader Julian Wilson. He's getting closer, Joe. I think the closer he gets, the more this draft is gonna help him kind of catch this 029 car. I just don't know if he has enough time to catch him here. I mean, he's basically banking on the 029 being perfect, which means he's got to be perfect here too.
Caleb Lingle trying to get everything back here. 3 laps to go. He had a massive mistake off of turn 2. Car got loose trying to get around lap traffic. Made a heck of a save, but lost the lead. Ever since, Julian Wilson has been out in front. He's trying to hold on to the top spot in a victory here tonight in the Silver State. Who will take home the gold coming around turn number 4? It's going to be 2 laps to go here around this 1.5 miles in the desert.
2 laps to go, about half a second separates our 2 leaders here. Can Caleb Lingle find anything out on track? Does Julian Wilson hit all of his marks here? Steve Grant's a little bit ahead of him halfway down the back straightaway here. I don't think he should be an issue.
Can Julian hold on to the victory? The lead is continuing to shrink here in the final stages of this race. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go from Las Vegas.
Got a little bigger that time by Joe. That might be all that Wilson needs to get this advantage, but he's got to be careful because Grant's just exiting onto the back straightaway. He's catch us 11 pretty quickly. He's got to be careful when he gets to turn 3 here. They don't catch him.
Into turns 3 and 4, Julian Wilson came from the middle of the field to the front, played the strategy to perfection, had a little luck along the way. Julian Wilson wins here at Las Vegas. Caleb Lingle comes home in 2nd. Keith McLean in 3rd. 4th tonight will be the 73 of Herman Reese and Fugate will round out your top 5. 029, Jessica going crazy in chat. Hello. Because, KJ got it done tonight, Ricky.
Definitely got done tonight here, Joe, and what a showing. Didn't have the car necessarily early on. Like I said, started midfield. Did something to that thing, and it just came to life, charged through his field, took that lead, and just never let it go.
He burns it down for the fans here in Las Vegas. Means we get beer up here at the booth, right?
Yeah, maybe. No, yes.
I don't know. I mean, once we're done talking with people, we're not working anymore, right?
That's true.
Post-race results incoming for you folks at home. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning into JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. As always, we can't thank you enough for tuning in here on a Tuesday night. Remember, we'll be live again next Tuesday night. HOBO Racing Cup Series action from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Coverage of that one going to kick off at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. I think KJ's going around. I'm pretty sure you can park it in Victory Lane here. There's a camera that's centered on Victory Lane, so I feel like we got to wait for him to get it there, Ricky. I mean, it's only right?
Yes.
Ricky's like, yeah, sure.
Ah!
Don't know why he had to do a whole lap. Oh. Never mind. I guess he's not going to do it. That's okay. All right. Post-race results, they're incoming. But before that, let's get a word with our friends from AutoSim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear because AutoSim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim 2's Sim mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. And again, folks, AutoSim 2 is now available on Steam. Go check it out. AutoSim 2, now available on Steam for $9.99. Let's go ahead and start in victory lane with the driver of the 029, Julian Wilson. KJ, you got a copy?
Yeah, Joe, I got you.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No, we were just we were in the debrief room right there.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure, big victory here tonight. You had people out at the track. It's always good to get a victory when they're at the racetrack, right?
Yeah, I love winning. It's been a while, but I like winning in front of people. I like winning, especially on the broadcast. Mom and wife were watching, so I already got the text message, and the wife in the room as soon as I crossed the line told me, good win.
We saw tonight, you started all the way back in 23rd here this evening. How did you kind of manage this race early on? Of course, we got the early caution, then a couple more thereafter, but how did you manage this race to try to methodically make your way to the front instead of trying to make it a mad dash to the lead?
Well, I did some practice last night, Joe. I knew I had a good set. It was really good the back half of the run, and I get home just enough time to make qualifying. So I don't like qualifying. I don't want to get in the middle of that and cause a wreck. And I haven't really been racing this year over here either, so I don't want to wreck a guy in the chase or something like that. But I knew it was going to be a fast car. The problem with this track is everybody runs the same speed for about 10 laps. You can't really go anywhere. So that first caution, when everybody pitted, I took 2 to get half that track position. And that first run, I was still on the 2 tires, and I ran the leaders down. So at that point, I knew the car was going to be pretty damn good when I got 4 tires on it.
Well, you got the 4 tires on it, and late in the race, you're battling with Caleb for the win. Coming off of pit road for the final time, he has a mistake off of turn number 2. When you see that happen, do you have to shift in your mind? How quick is that shift going from the hunter to the hunted?
I'm gonna guess you missed my mistake on pit road.
I did.
Overshot the box.
I knew you did something, but we're not worrying about it. You're in victory lane,
Yeah, I overshot the box. Pitting with that lap car there kind of messed me up. I just missed the box, but when he came out, I kind of told Keith, I said, damn, all that work I did to pass him, I got to do it again. And when we got going, I seen he was trying to run away from me because he was faster than me on fresh tires. When he got loose and slid on the backstretch, my game plan instantly changed. I wasn't going to be conservative and follow him. I went straight attack mode, just run as hard as I could every lap to try to get away from him or to make him run really hard trying to catch me. And I got far enough away from him, it worked. He was slowly nipping back to me. But at that point, I clean air. It was just hit my arcs, run the line, give him dirty air, and it was going to be really hard to pass.
Well, Julian, again, a big victory here tonight. Congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. And got great partners on the car, got great folks here in the garage area supporting you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, Joe, it's been a minute. When you go a while without winning, you're not sure when you're going to win again. So I'm glad I got the win. I'm glad everything kind of went my way tonight. I've been having horrible luck over here. But I want to give a shout out to my teammate, Keith. We put some good practice in last night, and we got a good baseline, something to work off of. Good run to Caleb. Caleb had a great car tonight. It was a coin toss between me and him. Whoever had the lead there was probably going to win that race. Ricky and Joe here in the booth at JTN. Y'all do a great job as always. Don't matter where y'all broadcast or what y'all broadcast. It's always a great show. I'll go back and watch it like always. Want to thank Steve and all the other admins here at Hobo for letting me part-time this season and show up when I could. That was a good race. Long green flag runs once we got going there, and pit stops. That made the difference. That really separated the field right there. But all in all, good race. Glad to be racing with these guys. Good group of guys here. And I will see y'all maybe next week. We'll see.
Well, KJ, I want to see you out on track more. I mean, I think we all do, but glad to get you when we can. Again, buddy, congratulations on the win here tonight. As always, it's a pleasure talking with you. And again, can't thank you enough for your time. Go celebrate this one.
All right, thank you, guys. Stella and Bush Ice, Victory Lane. Let's go.
Are you sending some up here for us?
Yeah, if y'all want some, I'll send you a case.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. We'll be waiting on it when we walk out of this room. Well, we got it. Yeah, we got it. We got it. First,
okay.
First.
Got to get past security. I forgot.
Well, just bring him You still got those Bush dog brews somewhere?
Oh, he went away from the Wendy's 4 for $5 or whatever it was.
I don't know. He still do that too. Whatever you want. He's not picky. Okay, buddy. Congrats. Thanks. Let's go ahead and next bring in our second place finisher. He's driver of the number 113, Caleb Lingle. Caleb, you got a copy?
I do, Joe.
All right, buddy. Another strong run, but I have to ask up front, that big slide off of turn 2. First off, how did you manage to save it? That was so impressive. Second, how much did it hurt you there in that last run?
I think, yeah, it really caught me off guard. I had to check up a little bit and turn the wheel to the left, not run over Duke there.
Mm-hmm.
So it got me all out of shape, and I thought my tires were shot. I really did, and really KJ kind of walked away a little bit, but he got held up with some lap traffic, and he was a lot better on the longer runs. So I really thought he was going to walk away, but I was able to stay within the draft and stay right there and kept the tires cool. Just try to take it easy with them. But I really don't know how I was able to stay as close as I was to him.
So we talk about luck and, bad luck, good luck here at Las Vegas because, gambling and casinos and all that. But how do you make your own luck in a race like this? We saw early on, it looked like it was going to be hard to get around the 31 of Stekenis. You get the caution. You're still behind him after that, but then you did a really good job of just chipping away at getting around the 31, chipping away, getting yourself to the front of the field. How do you make your own luck at a race track like Las Vegas where it really becomes a one-groove racetrack as the run goes on? It feels like it's a one-groove racetrack at the start of the run. How are you able to make your own luck at a track like this?
Yeah, good question. It's if I knew, I'd tell you. I really don't know.
Do you not know, or do you not want to tell me?
I don't know. The biggest thing is just keep it off that outside wall. Hitting it going into turn 1 was a problem I was doing in practice, and that would really mess up the whole corner or popping the wall coming off of turn 4, and that would just kill your car. Anytime you just barely hit the wall, the handling changes. At least it did for me. So I guess that's how you make your luck. Just don't make mistakes. I haven't been too good about that here lately, so hopefully things start turning around.
Well, what's the outlook then for these final 3 races? Homestead next week, then 3 weeks time, Martinsville and Phoenix thereafter. What's the mindset knowing that it's it's obviously 10 race points format, so it's going to be tough if this 28 car keeps being a pest and finishing up inside the top 3. What do you just continue to go for wins and hope things fall your way, or what's kind of the mindset for these final few races?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just go try to do the win. First 6 races of this thing, I've had 3 finishes that were 17th or 18th. So that's no way to win the championship in a 10 race format like this. So I believe I'm out of it. So now it's just take risk, do whatever you need to do, just get a good finish.
Okay, Caleb, a great finish here tonight. I know one short of where you want to be at the end of it. A second place run. Again, congratulations on that. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. Got some great partners, got some great folks. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
Thank you, Joe. Big thanks to all these guys here at Hobo. They after we got going there, it was a really good race. Keith and KJ, they raced me we all had a good run going. We raced each other pretty clean, I believe. And big thanks to my teammates helping me out when they can. And also want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for all he does for me. And big shout out to my family and friends that are watching. It was nice to finally get a good run. So glad I was able to shout out to them.
Well, Caleb, again, congratulations on the second place finish. As always, it's a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk with you after this one, or any of these races for that matter. Hope to be talking with you again here in these final few races after them. And again, buddy, can't thank you enough for your time.
Thank y'all very much.
Caleb Linkle, driver of the 113, your second place finisher here tonight from Las Vegas. Let's go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 28, Keith McClade. Mac Daddy, you got a copy?
I got you. Who am I talking to? I hadn't talked to y'all in so long.
Is that a me problem, you problem? I think it's a Ricky problem, honestly. He hasn't been here at all, you know.
It's been a Keith problem lately, but hey.
What went into
run.
Hey, well, you're leading the points too. I mean, it can't be too problematic, right?
Good points day. Gained on just about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 5 points to Caleb, but hey, I had 120 something on him. I'm good.
Yeah, he's still 121 back.
All the teammates ran good tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good race. It turned out to be a good race.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Both of those green flag cycles, you came down before all the other leaders. What happened though? Because you lost time on the short pit. What happened there?
When I came out the pits, as soon as I came out, I came up on cars that hadn't pitted yet, and there was like four of them running together.
It just held you up.
Yeah, and then the next time it was about the same thing. It's like they came out and they were able to pull out with cars that were a little bit faster, and it was better for them. But I about screwed up getting in the pits the last stop. I slid through the cones. I was like, oh no.
Are you just yelling at your crew chief at that point, telling him, why didn't you tell me to slow down earlier?
Yeah, he heard the F-bomb.
Oh, no.
I had to drop one on him.
Ugh. A strong night, though, for you in this 28 team. When you've kind of built this championship run, you talked about it's been tough runs as of late. I mean, maybe for what we've seen with you here on JTN, but over here at Hobo, it's been a pretty dominant season for you in this 28 team. 9 wins on the year. You're leading the points here with only 3 races left. I mean, what's gone right here at Hobo this year that maybe hasn't gone right on Thursday nights for some of the fans at home that are watching each and every broadcast we have here on JTN?
Well, Mac Daddy's sponsors is 100 Proof, Evan Williams, Kentucky Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And that Bush Ice, that seems to get on to me on Thursdays a little bit more. And I try to, since I'm really not into points over there, so far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But here I hadn't been drinking. I've been trying to be serious and trying to get her done for a change.
So what you're
just
saying
being
is,
honest with you.
No, I mean, you're just living proof you shouldn't drink and drive, right? Like,
exactly.
I mean, hey.
I've drank 12 before and beat their butt, and then talk jump to them when I did it.
Keith, brother,
It's true.
Listen. I ain't doubting you. I don't know if I should keep asking you questions.
Last year, they would ask me, say, how many you got in you? Before the race started, to see what the chances were, I guess.
It kind of helped make whatever that line would be for you to win the race.
Yeah. I told him, 10 and over, I'm done.
Well, Keith, great run here tonight. Great points night for you in this 28 team. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners. You got great folks that cheer you on. Great folks here at Hobo. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I am start out give a big shout out to Speedland for sponsoring this race. Appreciate Steve and Jason and all the guys over there, Randy, Bob, Wiley. Appreciate it, guys. I think they got a couple more coming. Thanks for Steve for everything he does. And you're not going to believe this. I ran Dan Rubino's set tonight. He sent it to me. Said it was junk. A couple little tweaks. That thing was fast. You couldn't believe it. And I give a shout out to Pam Lamb. She's in there hanging out, and I give a shout out to Jess, since her husband can't even give her a shout out. That's pretty sad.
It is.
What's up, Jess? How you doing, baby?
Brother, again, congratulations on the podium finish. Again, it goes without saying, it's always a pleasure and honor to get to talk with you after these races. Again, buddy, can't thank you enough for your time, and good luck here. Hope to be talking with you in a few weeks with the championship trophy on your desk.
I sure hope so. Yeah, thank you, Joe, you and Ricky, for everything y'all did tonight, too. Appreciate it, boy.
Keith McClay, Mac Daddy, your third place finisher here tonight from Las Vegas. Ricky, that's going to wrap up our coverage. I think that's a fitting way to finish out this one here tonight.
I think that was a very fitting way to end that out, Joe, and I think that was a lot of fun, a fun interview for a fun race. I enjoyed it tonight. I hope everyone at home did.
Folks, remember, if you want to get in on the action, you head to HOBORacing.com. We have their website linked in the video description below. They are looking for drivers for 2024, so you can contact them and see how you can get in on the action racing here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights. Remember, you can follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all the platforms to keep you up to date with everything we have going on here on JTN. Race day posts on those platforms to keep you up to date. You can also make sure you're subscribed and click the bell icon to be notified anytime we go live. A new episode of the Fake Racers podcast is now out over on JTN2. Go check it out. It's also on your favorite podcast platforms if you just want to listen to it. Say you're at work tomorrow and you're like, man, I really miss hearing Joe's voice. What did Joe think about this last weekend's race? Go check out the Fake Racers podcast. You can get most of your answers. And if you don't get all your answers, tune in Thursday night, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action, and ask your question then, and we'll answer your questions live on the air. With all that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Ricky Collette, I've been Joe Towanski. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be...